All right, so in our last class, you were given the graph of a linear equation, which again is just a nice straight line on a graph. There's no curves in it. And so today what we're going to look at is graphing a linear equation. All right, so the key items that we had before for finding the equation of a line was that we needed the slope and the y-intercept. Well, ironically, those are what we're going to use to graph our linear equations. All right, so only 2 points are needed to graph a linear equation, but we're going to use more. The slope and the y-intercept are used to graph a linear equations using the following steps. So here's how we're going to do it. The first thing is we're going to graph the y-intercept. And this allows us to plot the first point. Now, from that y-intercept, we're going to use the slope to find not only the second point, but other points. Because again, the slope is the pattern of the line. All right, so here we go for the first one in A. We're going to graph the line y equals 2/3 x plus 2. So again, the first thing we want to do is graph the y-intercept. Now again, where is that? The equation of our line is always in the form y equals m times x plus b. All right, so their b again is the y-intercept. So in this case, you got to look at the sign here. It's a positive 2. So I plot that point. All right, that's step 1. Step 2 is use the slope to find your second point and in fact other points as well. And so our slope is 2/3. Now again, the 2 refers to the rise. So because it's a positive 2, it's telling us to go up. The run is 3. And because it's positive 3, it's telling us to go to the right. And so the pattern of this line is up 2, right 3. So from the y-intercept, because I need a point on the line, up 2, so up 1, 2, right 3. 1, 2, 3. I can plot a point. Now, like I said, I want to use more points. So let's try up 2, right 3. And there's another point. Now, these patterns, because the pattern of a line stays the same, you can look at the pattern left to right or right to left as well. For instance, down 2, left 3, down 2, left 3. And so now I could continue this pattern going left. Down 2, left 3. Down 2, left 3. There we go. So there is a left to right pattern and a right to left pattern that you can use. All right, so now I'm going to draw in my line. It's not very good. I'm going to try a better one here. Let's see if we can do it. There we go. And there's drawing the linear equation. All right, I'm going to try another one. Well, I'm going to try a few more here. All right, so our next graph is y equals -4/3x plus 5. All right, so again, the first step is to graph our y-intercept right there. And it is a positive 5. So I'm going to go up on my y-axis here, up to positive 5. And I put a dot. Now, looking at my rise and my run for the pattern of the line, that -4 is my rise. And because it's a -4, I need to go down 4. The 3 is my run. It's in the denominator. And it's positive, so it's telling me to go right 3. So the pattern of this line is down 4, right 3. So 1, 2, and again, I'm starting from the y-intercept because I have to start from a point on the line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 to the right. Let's see, I can fit another one on there. 1, 2, 3, 4 down. 3 to the right. And now I'm going to draw in my line as best I can. And there we go. And there's my linear equation, or the graph of my linear equation drawn. All right, let's try a few more of those. Some different scenarios. The next one here is we get y equals 4x minus 3. All right, so once again, doing the same steps. I want to plot my y-intercept first. And this time, it is a -3. And so I'm going to go down to -3. And I plot my dot. But now here's where it gets a little tricky. My slope is 4. It's just one number. But this is something we did in our last unit, where we made a number a fraction. And you can make any number a fraction by just dividing it by 1. Because 4 divided by 1 is 4. So I haven't changed the number. I just changed the way it looked. And so now the pattern of this line, again, the rise is on the top. So I'm going to go up 4 because it's positive. And the 1 is also positive, so it means right 1. Again, down and left are negative, up and right are positive. All right, so I've got my y-intercept at -3. And now my pattern is up 4, right 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, up 1. And there we go. I think that's enough points where we can now plot it on the graph. Hopefully I do a good job here. Yeah, there we go. And there's my graph of my linear equation. All right, let's try D here. Again, going the same steps. There's my y-intercept of 3. All right, so I'm going to go up 3 on my y-axis. I plot my first point. But again, that slope is a whole number of -5. I can change it to a fraction by just, again, dividing by 1. And so now to find the rest of my points, go back to my y-intercept. That's my first point. I follow my pattern here, which, let's see, now the rise is -5. So that means I'm going to go down 5. But again, the run is positive, so I'm going to go right 1. All right, so here we go. Graphing my points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right 1. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't even fit. All right. Well, that's looks like all I'm getting is 2 points this time on this graph. And pretty good. And there we go. There's the graph of my linear equation. Any questions so far? Just checking the chat here. All right, I'm going to do a couple more. See if I think I got a few more different examples. Oh, okay. Here's one. Y equals -5/2x plus 4. Okay, so again, same steps. I'm going to graph my y-intercept, all right, which is a +4. So let's see. I go up on my y-axis again. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. There's my first point. All right, now see my slope. I got y equals -5/2. So here's what can happen. This slope can be written 2 different ways. Because that negative sign's in the middle, or it has a negative sign, I could put the negative sign on the 5, or I could put the negative sign on the 2. Both will work. And what it is telling us is that one of these slopes is the pattern for left to right, and the other one's right to left. But they are the same pattern, and I will show you. Because the first pattern here that we have of -5/2, again, our rise is -5, so that's saying going down 5. But the run is +2, so it's right 2. All right, so now when I put more points on my graph here, I go to my y-intercept, down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right 2. Down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just fits, right 2. And there we go. But watch this. See this other pattern? This could have worked too. This was my right to left pattern where it says go, it was a little bit different, where it says go up 5, but yet left 2. And watch how that would work. Again, if I started, say, at this point right here in red, left 2, 1, 2, up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Left 2, 1, 2, up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one of the patterns was a right to left pattern, and the other was the opposite. There we go. And again, I'm going to draw my line, and there is the graph of my linear equation. All right, I'm going to do one more here. Let's see here. Same idea. Let's see. We're going to now graph the y-intercept. There it is. Watch the sign always. It's -4. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4 down. -4 on the y-axis. My slope, again, is 7/3. And so that pattern of that line is telling me direction-wise to go up 7. Whoa. And right 3, because they're both positive. So, all right. So back to my first point. And see, up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And right 3. And there we go. And we plot, because I know the rest of them aren't going to fit. I could do better than that. Let's see. Let's go the opposite way here. That's better. And there we go. There is the graph of my linear equation. Again, the key here is you've got to graph your y-intercept first, then use your slope to find the rest of your points that have to come from your y-intercept. And then after that, you can move from point to point, because again, the slope is not only the steepness of your line, but I also look at it as the pattern of your line. How much does it go up or down, and how much does it go left or right over a certain amount of spaces?